Hello and welcome to Network. My name is Spumelele Zondi with your technology and social media news. Today we are coming to you from South Africa's capital, Pretoria. Remember that if you want to be a part of our tech conversation, you can find us on SABC Network. That's on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's newsnetwork at sabc.co.za on email. Our Twitter poll is asking what you know about 5G technology, as a lot of smartphone brands are launching 5G phones. But first, here's what's coming up in the program. ICASA extends a data rollover deadline. We talk electric cars. And
we've got an app that we're using in terms of promoting the venues, the conference venues that we're using.
Tourism in the age of technology. Vodacom has announced that they will allow you to roll over your data to the next month. But unlike their competitors, they will charge you for this. With so much of our lives on smartphones, many nowadays choose their mobile phone network providers based on data rates.
I use MTN because they have the best coverage, and I use Rain because they have the best data prices.
Telkom is one of the best network in SA, and it has great deals such as free WhatsApp.
I use Telkom because it's got the cheapest data rates in the market.
As you've heard, none of those who sent us their videos mentioned Vodacom on their cheap data list. For a while, South Africans complained about what they saw as high data costs. There was even the social media hashtag #DataMustFall. There are also those who have said in their quest for more affordable data, South Africans must also consider the network provider's cost of doing things.
We have to take into account that the operators have also invested in new equipment or more advanced equipment to do so. So that's also a constant expenses that they are making in order to provide the services and to carry on providing future services to the consumer. So there is the cost of equipment, there is taxation as well that has to be taken into account. Obviously, the companies pay tax, so that's probably part of their margin, their cost of operating the network.
But the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa stepped in. ICASA said mobile phone network providers must allow data to roll over to the next month and not switch it off after only 1 month. The deadline for mobile operators to do this was 1 March, but the regulator has extended it to 12 April. Vodacom has now said they will allow a free transfer of 50 megabytes of data but charge for anything bigger. ICASA isn't happy.
But our intention as the regulator, particularly on these regulations, is mainly to promote transparency and to address issues relating to unfair business rules or practices that we see. So that's why we came up with this particular regulation. So we expect the network operators to be able to comply with the regulations and ensure that consumers are protected and then consumers get the value for their money. Our consumer and compliance division is currently engaging with Vodacom on this issue just to determine whether there is any kind of non-compliance when it comes to the end user and subscriber service charter regulations or any other regulations that ICASA has.
Telkom will allow you to carry over your data at no cost. Cell C has added another month to the data expiry period. MTN will allow you to carry it over for a period of up to 2 months if you are on prepaid, but you must purchase more data. Electric cars don't need fuel and it's clean for the environment. But how viable is it to own one in South Africa? Here's producer Sandile Hlangani.
Whether it's concerns about operational range or a lack of infrastructure, many South African drivers feel hesitant about purchasing an electric vehicle. But automakers are steadily moving towards electric vehicles as the technology behind them improves. Toyota, for example, has stated that it will have 300 electric car models by 2025, signifying a shift towards the adoption of electric vehicles.
Each and every passenger model will have an electric version, basically. But this is more like a prototype, though, in the sense that it hasn't been produced mass production plants, something like that. Yeah. So this is a prototype, and it's been tried out in some European countries. Grenoble is one of them, And the one thing that I really like about the iRoad is that it has the agility of a motorbike, but it also has the practicality of a normal car.
While they offer great economy and features, are electric cars suitable for South Africans?
In terms of the infrastructure, we still have a long way to go. But I do believe that there is a will from many people, from many South Africans to drive green cars. You do know the problems that we currently have with Eskom, that our power supply is not reliable. So I think that's one of the reasons why most people would be deterred from buying electric cars.
Some believe that while electric cars may not be a very popular choice in South Africa, they are environmentally friendly.
An electric car, even a hybrid car as well, that uses electric and a combustion engine together is a great alternative, you know. So then the whole movement towards that is going to prompt people to move into the electric space, and that helps the environment.
Earlier this year, Shell SA jumped on the electric car bandwagon, announcing that they will be launching their first electric vehicle charging stations in South Africa this year. Then load shedding happened.
Shell didn't anticipate that would happen, that we would have a problem with of course load shedding from there. And honestly, look, it's the reality of it is that we are having a bit of an electrical problem here in South Africa, with obviously the grid being overworked and some of the power stations failing and the maintenance of Eskom and as a whole. However, you know, I believe it's a good step for Shell. They are really doing something towards changing the whole experience of, you know, how we do cars.
While electric cars may be the future and moves are being made by big names in the industry to make this more of a reality in South Africa, electric cars don't seem to be a feasible option in the near future.
Kenyan taxi hailing app Little says it's planning to expand beyond Kenya's borders.
Kenya's ride-hailing company Little is expanding to Tanzania and Ghana by May, as it plans to raise about $50 million more in capital from investors. The company, which started up in 2016, has 10,000 registered drivers in Nairobi and more than 1 million users on its platform across all markets.
We are meeting a couple of investors both on the continent and in the Silicon Valley, and the interest is there. We are just trying to figure out, we are hoping that the investment should close in the course of later mid of this year. That's what we are hoping.
The company is currently competing with global players Uber and Taxify in Kenya, but their service is available for a segment of the market that does not have smartphones. Last month, Little launched a bus service in Nairobi on its platform on top of its taxi service and motorcycle border offering, and they are also looking into doing deliveries.
The middle income consumer, middle and the above, is what we feel that we are targeting. But you see, that's where also we come into the place, because we also have a product for boda, which is two-wheelers. And we also have a product for shuttle, which is like a mass transit platform. So if you look at it, for us consumer, because of the spread is bigger, any consumer who needs transport somewhere down the line fit in some of our products.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. After the break, we go to Meetings Africa to find out about tech in tourism.
Thanks, Gary. And on a more serious note, load shedding is back.
Where's my cup?
Do you need help? Okay.
Yo, all this serious deserves a glass of not so serious. Come fill yours with Tops at Spa.
And thanks so much for staying with Morning Live.
He described as unlawful the publishing of witness testimonies prior to being heard before the Commission.
It's almost like asking a parent who's your favorite child. But is there a moment that stands out for you?
We sat and we thought, how can we make blind people enjoy Note for Note as well? Because it's television.
Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index, and out of 180 countries, South Africa coming in at 73.
I really hope that, this year is going to be the year of fighting corruption.
Now, shocking church abuses in the name of religion keep surfacing.
It's breaking the law. There's no church that should be allowed to do such things.
Get 20,000 Rand discount, bachelor's to master's degrees in Sandton.
It's widespread and it's a very lucrative market.
The question that we ask, for instance, political parties is, where do you get the information? Where do you get the cell phone numbers of voters?
Thank you so much for choosing us.
It is SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za on email. We are now going to Meetings Africa in Sandton to have a discussion about tech in tourism. Zanoma is who is the head of the Durban KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, how is KwaZulu-Natal using technology to attract new customers?
People, when they book their conferences and then they come to a destination, they will obviously want to tag other people. They will go on social media. They will actually showcase the experiences that they had. And in that way, other people will see and they will know about the destination. And then in turn, we have people coming back to the destination, either as now leisure tourists, so that we can actually grow the economy of the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
And specifically you as a province, how do you utilize tech?
We've got an app that we're using in terms of promoting the venues, the conference venues that we're using, where we're promoting the DMCs, where we're promoting all the hotels that are available in and around KwaZulu-Natal, so that people are easily accessing those attractions on the app. So it's easier that way.
And does tech also allow you to chat to businesses that want to come to the province as well?
Of course. And right now I can sit in here and someone will actually send me a message. They can book a conference and they can want me to send some information on the conferences they want to host in KwaZulu-Natal, and I can easily do that through technology. I actually don't need now to travel and have face-to-face, even though face-to-face is still important, but obviously with technology, that's when we actually get an opportunity to do things now and also to reach to a greater market.
You've mentioned conferencing quite a bit. Is it a big conferencing province?
Durban and KwaZulu-Natal, we are actually now so big in conferencing because that's where we are saying Durban and KwaZulu-Natal is the business events destination. So we are definitely big on conferences.
We've seen other spaces like Hayadini utilizing their Instagram accounts. Do you find that it helps with people who want things to do in the province?
You see, when people come for conferencing or meetings for that matter, they don't want to sit in a venue and just not experience what Durban and KwaZulu-Natal has to offer. So Hayadini, of course, because you've mentioned Hayadini and any other attractions, there are so many, by the way. So people will then go to those attractions to experience those attractions. So we actually say we've got so many experiences that people can actually come for meetings and also get more experiences that they can actually enjoy.
Durban is the #1 tourism destination for South Africans. What would you attribute to that?
Okay, it is definitely a #1 tourist destination for South South Africans because we have the beautiful beach, which is safe, by the way. I need to add that because most people, when they come, they would want to actually know whether it is safe to actually go to the beach. So we have the beautiful beach, we've got the beautiful weather, we've got the warm people, and we've got the diverse culture. So that's what we're selling. That is why actually Durban and KwaZulu-Natal, we need to actually say that, to say the KwaZulu-Natal as a province as a whole is the destination of choice for travelers from South Africa.
We recently heard about smartphones that are now going to be manufactured in Durban. There's the Aerotropolis area. Do you find that it's helping to bring business and people to Durban?
You see, in terms of, you start by Aerotropolis and all that, we actually saying if we get more direct flights coming to Durban, that's where most opportunities come, because people are now willing to travel to Durban because it's easy access. So we are actually saying for business, it's easy to come to Durban. We saw with the launch of the British Airways how many people now are willing to come to Durban from the UK market. So we are actually hoping that with the team that is working so hard in bringing more direct flights to Durban, we'll see more of business opportunities, especially in the business event side, coming to Durban and KwaZulu-Natal.
Right, Sondo Maise, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
We caught up with SABC News anchor Blaine Herman. He told us what his favorite technology is.
Hi, my name is Blaine Herman and my favorite technology gadget is my tablet. Now, apart from being able to surf the web, read my emails, watch videos and do a bit of gaming, and of course check up on my friends on Facebook, it's also a great tool for a broadcaster. How so, you ask? Well, it's portable. I can load all my news stories on it, and get this, I can even use it to do a live news report from almost anywhere in the world. Just recently, I used this tablet to do a live report all the way from Kazakhstan, so pretty nifty gadget indeed.
Tandega, her weird family and cray-cray friends bring you another cheeky season.
Everything new, brand new. When?
Into zamgela.
Tandega benkuluma noma ziphuthe efonini uthi ucela space bag. Ithembe mem, ha ke tshepe motho. Awe, nka mpa ka tshepa lejwe. Yini? Size ukufunda la esikoleni, are you aware?
Mugele. Catch Tandega's Diary Mondays at 7:30 only on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome back. Today we are coming to you from Hatfield in Pretoria. Here's what took place in the rest of the tech space in the rest of the world.
The Mobile World Congress took center stage in Barcelona this week. The four-day event gathered the world's leading mobile providers, software providers and telecom operators from over 200 countries under the theme of intelligent connectivity. And Huawei's foldable smartphone was one of the main attractions.
We have introduced the world's first foldable 5G smartphone in Barcelona. It can be folded out like a small tablet. This folding screen is commercially viable, while many other handset makers currently can only make demo models.
Another highlight of the event was Seat's all-electric two-seater concept vehicle called Minimo. Designed to meet the challenges of city driving, emission regulations and overcome the problem of limited parking spaces.
Minimo is also an hyper-connected car with embedded 5G capability, providing a seamless digital experience for the user based on a digital key and wireless Android Auto technology.
The convention is also an opportunity for networking and participants to share ideas on new technology and topics such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and big data. Off we go to Middle East. Patients in Saudi Arabia can now receive their medicine at pharmacies in less than 10 seconds, thanks to a new automation system that handles and dispenses drugs to customers.
I thank God for having youth who have the ability to understand these technologies. They exerted a lot of effort to put this system and installing it as the first pharmacy in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East using this system.
The new smart pharmacy system aims to save employees time. The shelf-scanning robot also monitors the application of proper drug storage standards, hence minimizing the risk of drug misuse.
This service is good for the customer. It saves a lot of time. From the moment I handed the prescription to the pharmacist until I received the medicine, it only took from 6 to 10 seconds. It is really good for me as a customer to finish early instead of waiting.
Set. 6.
A rocket carrying 6 satellites built by Airbus SE and partner OneWeb blasted off in France this week, which is their first step in a plan to give millions of people in remote and rural areas high-speed internet beamed down from space.
OneWeb was first, and therefore when you're first to get like the slots at an airport or the slots in the sky, you can get the best slots. And that gave us sort of a 3-year advantage over our principal competitor, which is Elon Musk, who's also plans to put a large network up there. We think our network's going to be a better network, and it's going to happen quicker than his.
OneWeb and others aim to expand the availability and speed of satellite-based internet compared to existing providers such as Hughes Network Systems, who is also an investor in OneWeb and is helping to build out its ground infrastructure.
With Samsung, Huawei and Sony having announced the 5G phones, today our Twitter poll is asking how much you know about 5G technology. 15% of respondents say a lot. The minority is at 13%. They say just a little bit. The overwhelming majority is at 51%, and they are saying they know nothing at all. And at 21%, there are people who are asking, who cares? SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. It's newsnetwork@sabc.co.za on email from me and the rest of the team right here in Hatfield, Pretoria. Have a good one. Bye-bye.